Hello YouTube, this is Soundwave913 coming back at it again with a brand new video. And the question you guys are probably wondering for me to answer is, where the fuck have you been? Well, I have been doing things. I've been doing the things, just hanging around. I haven't been really doing much, but I've been doing things. Anyway, so 2019 wasn't a real great year, was it? Especially for YouTubers after a certain Kappa. Yeah, starting with a big C. Kappa happened. Now, I don't think it's as bad as people say it is, but I can definitely see the panic. However, this is the part of the video I need to tell you. If you're under 13, stop watching. I mean, look in the background. We have some drills. Those are dangerous. Some paint. That's toxic. Godzilla. He destroys things. Very toxic and dangerous items. So if you're under 13, leave. Now the rest of you, watch the rest of the video. So, what are we doing today? 2019, although not a great year, did give us a very good year of Transformers. Dare I say, one of the best, if not the best year of Transformers in a long time. And today, I am doing the top 19 of 19. Yes, that hashtag that a few people have started, and I don't know how many people are still doing it. Because a lot of people are just doing top 10 of 2019 and such and such. Now, I have a few rules for myself. Number one, no duplicate figures like Sea Spray back there or a certain group of scavengers. But, going back on topic, so no customs by me, no duplicate figures, and also no Misc Transform merchandise or robot merchandise in general. So, no keychains, no statues, nothing to that extent. No plushies or whatever merchandise is this day. However, I will be double stacking a few entries because it was really hard to pick some entries, and there were some I just needed to talk about. And also one last thing, top 19 of 19 does mean that it also includes robots released this year, but also robots I got this year that weren't from this year specifically. Anyway, before we get to the actual robots, I want to do a few honorable mentions. Those being Transformers Prime Bulkhead, very good figure. I just got him this year. It should be pretty obvious. He was the last guy I needed from Team Prime, so he gets a shout out for that, and just genuinely be a good figure. Then Generation Selects Galactic Man Shockwave. He's pretty good. I do have Shockwave as well. I only paid $30 for him. Didn't pay the full $50. Shockwave I paid the full price, and honestly he's pretty good. Then coming up next with a figure I thought wasn't going to be really that great, but ended up being pretty alright, which was Siege Mirage. I didn't really want to get this guy, but then I got that 3-pack for Christmas, and I thought he was actually pretty good. So, he's on the list. And also on the list is Flywheels, my first deluxe I got from the Siege line, and he's pretty good. He's pretty good. He's not great, but he's not bad, and he also completes the Duocon, so that automatically gets him an honorable shout-out. And coming in with my one Studio Series shout-out is World War II Bumblebee. He's pretty good. He's good, he just doesn't make the list, and likewise goes with this other military guy, Siege Hound. Hound is pretty good as well. It's just, he just didn't make the list. I don't know what, this was just a hard list to do in general. And the last shout out I want to give is to a subset from Siege, which is the Weaponizers gimmick. I love it. So I'm going to give 2 shout outs to my favorite figure from the retail line and my favorite of the Power Dasher line. So my favorite from the retail line was Six Gun. He's quite good. I love him. He's just got a dynamic thing to him that I love. And from the Power Dashers, I think Zetar was the best one. I mean, I love his colors. He just works the best. He's just awesome. So yeah, these guys are my honorable shoutouts. They're quite good. It's just, my only problem with them is just, I mean, they were good, and some, like Mirage, were unexpectedly good. It's just, there were so many good bots this year. Some had to make it the honorable mentions. Some didn't even make it on lists. Like, spoiler, no Siege Impactor, which, kind of sucks because he's pretty good. And speaking of kind of sucks, but he's also pretty good, we come to number 19. And number 19 is Studio Series Dark of the Moon Megatron. He's pretty good. I've been wanting this figure for years. I had the original Voyager, but unfortunately he's a little busted up. So Dark of the Moon Megatron, this was my most anticipated figure from the studio line for a while. He looked so awesome. I finally found him, and he's pretty alright. I love his robot mode. I love it. The little Igor accessory, which it's not here. Yeah, that's alright. I like his weapon. I love the cape. The cloth cape type of deal. The transformation's alright. Truck mode looks good, but it just doesn't... it refuses to tab together, which is my one consistent issue with Studio Series. A lot of the vehicle modes don't tab together that well. So, yeah. But he still looks amazing. So, Dark of the Moon Megatron. Quite good. And speaking of quite good, coming in for number 20... yeah, this is... yeah, number 20. Probably gonna add that one out. Number 18 is the Battle Masters, but I really wanted to focus on our boy Smashdown. This guy is quite good. I do want to give a shout to the blowpipe mold, because I used that one for a good amount of customs this year, and it was just a genuinely fun mold, but our boy Smashdown is awesome. And look at him, he's a Minotaur, and he's small, and he turns into a hammer. That's awesome. And it comes with a little power wave effect. That is radical. And, you know, it's an original character. I like my original Transformer characters. So, there's that. Actually, I want to backtrack a little bit with, original characters and such. I want to give a shout to Siege Marat, Hotshot as well, which is a repaint of our boy Helm. I love Cybertron, love the Unicron trilogy, so just wanted to give them a shout, because I just remembered it. And just speaking of, just remembering it, coming in at number 17 is, right, I didn't get too much G1 merch this year. I mainly bought Micromasters, and, spoiler alert, some might be on the list. However, the full body Transformers, you know, big deluxe, you know, all that type of jazz, I didn't get too much of, but, I did get these two, and these two are quite good. That being Camshaft, and Overdrive, Hamon Overdrive, you know, that type of dealio. So, these two are good. These are some of the few G1 full figures I got this year, and as I said before, they're quite good. These were probably my favorite purchase from New York Comic Con. I've never messed with these guys before, except I did have a broken one of him, but I don't really count that as owning him. But yeah, these guys are lovely. I would love to get their mate downshift at some point, but yeah, I'm not sure when, because these guys are kind of pricey. Did get these guys for a fair price, though. And speaking of a somewhat fair price, coming in at number someone fell over 16 is Studio Series Bone Crusher. He's a good boy. Honestly, he's probably one of my favorite figures I've posed this year. And that's saying something, because I don't mess with my Transformers that much after I put them on the shelf, which is a sad fact. But Bone Crusher I did take off a few times, and he was just a lovely figure. He looks good, the robot mode's great. The transformation's kind of cool. The truck mode's cool, but again, lining up issues and such, and he's a bit small. Not gonna lie, he's a bit small. However, I still love him. I have very fond nostalgia for the first Transformers movie. And speaking of nostalgia, we come to number 15, which, right, you know the channel, you know I'm a fan of Soundwave, so there was bound to be a Soundwave this year. I mean, for fuck's sake, Sound Blaster made my top number 1 on the 2017 list. So this year, I ended up putting this guy on the list, which was Cyberverse Soundwave. He's pretty good. This is honestly the best Cyberverse figure I own. I own 6 figures from this line, and honestly, he is still the best one. And you might notice he has a specific gun, because Siege Soundwave is also coming in at number 15. Yeah, this is a double-decker, boys. Siege Soundwave looks great. I think he does the battle damage quite well. And actually, I just remembered, these guys I bought on the same day, and along with one other figure. Ooh, I wonder who can it be. He's pretty good. I like his transformation. The jet mode's weird. The plain Cybertronian jet mode's weird. But hey, we get a lamppost mode out of it. And look at that light piping, man. It's awesome. And of course, here's Sound Blaster. You gotta give Sound Blaster as soon as Soundwave knocks over, because Sound Blaster, I do like, you know, they gave him the double chest. That's awesome. He's pretty good. Soundwave, Sound Blaster, Soundwave from Cyberverse, the triple threat of the bunch, and they're coming for you because Soundwave is pretty damn good. And speaking of pretty damn good, coming in with number 14 is the sole masterpiece figure I bought this year. There wasn't too many MPs I got this year. I did not buy the new Optimus or Bumblebee. Oh, man, I wish I got Megatron, but he's a little pricey. I don't have 230 for the G1 and 350 for the Beast Wars. I'm not made of money. Anyway, but this guy was relatively cheap, which was MP Thrust. Thank you, Big Bad Toy Store, for actually putting him for around a reasonable price. I don't collect MPs that often. Anyway, so Thrust. This toy is kind of a controversial one. Not many people like the Seeker mold anymore. I can totally agree. And, yeah, he's pretty good. What else can I say about him? He looks awesome. Thrust is my favorite my second favorite Seeker. Sorry. And, he's quite good. Honestly, there are problems. I mean, that's a problem. But he just looks awesome. And also, I do want to give a shout to, one of the few, probably my favorite G1 purchase besides the two Omnibots this year. It wasn't even a purchase, a gift. Shoutouts to G1 Dirge. This guy has been the last Seeker I've been needing for a while. I want to thank my father for getting me this guy for my birthday. He's a treat. I love him. I was so surprised to get him. And what can I say? I love my Seekers. So, there you go. And speaking of I love me my Seekers, coming in at number 13 is the Siege Starscream mold, represented by the main man himself. Yeah, Starscream, this mold is awesome. I know there are problems, like, I know. I love the transformation element. I love the jet mode. I love the robot mode. He's not great, but he's awesome. And, I actually do want to give a shout to, Theo Adams. His recent Siege Seeker review was quite good. Go check it out. He's a much better content creator than I am. But, I am actually breaking my rule here, because here's my custom nacelle, bitches! So, if you want to see him, go on TFW. You'll find him at some point under Soundwave913. Shameless plug aside, yeah, this mold's good. I almost have all of them except Skywarp because, thank you, Amazon. It sold out literally before Black Friday. So, that was fun. That was a treat. That was a treat. So, yeah, there is the Seeker mold. Coming in at number 12, we have, Micromasters. Now, which Micromaster? Are we talking G1? Are we talking Siege? We're talking kind of both worlds. So, I love the Siege Micromasters. The only ones that didn't make the I did not count towards this year were the first three, because I got them last year. You saw the last year's video, you know that I got them. But, yeah, let's talk. So, my favorite Siege, Micromasters were the, if I can grab them, the Off-Road Patrol, and, if I remember their names correctly, the Battle Squad. So, there they are. I don't remember their names. I do remember this is Powertrain, and I think this is High Jump. I don't remember, but I remember his name because, also this year, I got G1 Powertrain, which was by far my favorite G1 Micromaster I got this year. So, yeah, I love the Micromasters. These guys, I think, did it the best. These guys are super fun. I love him a lot, and Ironworks is pretty good. He's pretty good, although his red repaint that came in that 10-pack was kind of rubbish. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. So, there's some Micromasters, and with number 12, we basically have to include 3, because it's Bloody Reflector, guys. Yeah, represented by the lead man Reflector. I don't remember. I know it's Spectro, Spyglass, and Viewfinder. I think that's Viewfinder? I don't know. Yeah, this mold's pretty good. It took me a while to get all 3, but I do own them. They're pretty good. I mean, Reflector was the last G1 Decepticon. We kind of need it. So, it's kind of a necessity that we needed Reflector, and this toy does it pretty good, although the ship mode is kind of trash. So, there's your boy Reflector. There he be. And coming in with number 10, making it way to the top 10, is arguably like one of the hypest figures of the year, which was Commander Class Jetfire. He's a good one. As I raise it up a little bit, there he is. He's a good one. I love him. The transformation's simple and easy, and I like it for that reason. It doesn't have to be super complicated. He looks awesome. I love both modes. I love the effect parts he comes with. You know, his little rock things, and you know, he's awesome. He's an awesome guy. I like him. Jetfire is pretty good. And it's our first Commander class, so who else will be a Commander class figure? We don't know. Now, I want to change things up because last year I did my top figure, that non-transforming figure last year, and I wanted to do a little segue type thing. I want to talk about my bottom 5 least favorites, because while there were many good ones, there was unfortunately a few ones I was just towards, and I wanted to point them out. So, let's talk number 5. So these are my bottom 5 of the year. Now, not all of these are bad. I would say 2 of these are good. The rest are just... So, coming in at number 5 is going to piss a lot of people off. It's Siege Apeface. Now, before everyone dislikes this video, look, I like him. There are 2 problems with him. His transformation's a little and how things line up. He looks awesome, but this other one is a personal problem, which is why I put him on here. He's kind of missing a pin. There's the pin on that one. There's no pin there. Yeah, that was disappointing. Especially since Siege has been like one of the best line that hasn't really had many QC issues, at least for me, except Apeface and Prowl. So that's why I put Apeface on the list of my least favorite. But he's still good. It's just mine has specific problems. But this one doesn't really have specific problems, which is unfortunate. Which is coming in at number 4 is Siege Springer. This was honestly a letdown to me. He's kind of honestly, besides like maybe some of the Micromasters, this is probably my least favorite figure that I got from the Siege line. And he doesn't even want to stand up. Like, he looks good in robot mode. He has some awesome weapons. I like his battle damage. I think it looks good on him. However, the transformation is just a nightmare. It's like, I love triple changes, but this one just didn't do it. The car mode was good. The helicopter mode was crap. He's just okay. But here's the thing. He's just okay. He's not awful, which is what I love about the Siege line. There wasn't a genuinely awful figure this year from the Siege line. So, yes. And also, he had the task of following up Thrilling 30 Springer, so it's like, obviously, he's not going to be greatest. And speaking of not being the greatest, coming in at number 3, we have Cyberverse Thundercracker. This is the worst deluxe I have held in a long time. He's awful. The Cyberverse line was genuinely awful for a good while. And Thundercracker / Starscream, the Seeker mold in general, exemplifies it. Barely any articulation. The whole gimmick is trash. The transformation's bad. This guy is not good. I bought him because it's Thundercracker. Also, he was a Toys R Us exclusive, and here in the US we don't have that anymore. However, he should be close to number 1, but there were 2 that had more credentials. So, coming in at number 2 is another one I think a lot of people would be a little pissed about. I mean, if they haven't left the video by Apeface and Springer. Studio Series Shatter. Hands down, my least favorite. The one Studio Series figure I dislike the most. And, yeah, she's not good. Which sucks because the character was great in the movie, but the toy sucks. The head's inaccurate. The robot's not looking great. Pieces fall off like these 2 pieces at the back. Transformation's fiddly. However, what's the saving grace for her is that the vehicle mode is legit awesome. But from number 1, this one is just my least favorite thing. KFC Sound Mixer. I'm a Soundwave fan. I wanted to get a third-party figure this year. I saw this guy for cheap. I bought him. And before we say, is this a bootleg? No, this is the official product. I've checked. And the reason why this guy is number 1, it's not because I hate third-party, right? I don't own any other third-party figure besides him and a few upgrades. The reason why he's number 1 is he broke twice. I handled him with as much care and attention as I normally do with all my Transformers. Carefully messed with them, and he broke. And for that reason, he is number 1. He is the only Transformer last year that, with very little effort, broke on me. And also, it's just Perceptor. So, it does. Look, I don't hate third party. I need to get a few more third party figures, but that was not a good first impression. However, there are a few third party figures coming out this year I am actually genuinely interested in. So, yeah. I don't hate third party, like I said. There you go. That's my bottom 5. 2 of them are pretty decent still. The last 3 are just kind of whatever. But going back to the actual good stuff, let's go in slamming back hard with number 9 because it's Ironhide. So, there's Ironhide. There's Ratchet. And there's Crosshairs. Yep. This mold comes in at number 9. This was genuinely probably the best deluxe mold from this line. Yeah. These guys are really good. If I had to solo out one, Ratchet. Ratchet, I think, was the best version of this mold. This one had the tightest joints for me. I love all the care and attention they did with remolding this figure. I love the head sculpt. I love the accessories. Ratchet is genuinely probably the best deluxe from Siege, in my opinion. However, there is one other one on this list. Ooh, spoilers. But Ironhide and Crosshairs are quite good. They are honestly really good figures. You should get these. Any G1 fan would love these. And way better than the classics / universe Ironhide and Ratchet, which were complete trash. And speaking of a figure that kind of had bad releases in the past, was number 8, Siege Astrotrain. I was not a fan of Titans Return Astrotrain. I never owned Classics Astrotrain, so I can't really say for him. This guy is really good. This video, I wanted to make a video on him, but I never ended up doing it. This was the only figure from Siege I actually pre-ordered, so that should say something. This guy is fantastic. I love the weapons he comes with. I love the train mode. That was the main thing that I did not like about Titans Return Astrotrain was the train mode. They nailed it. The shuttle mode's good. The robot mode's good. There are 2 problems. Number 1, obviously, he's small. That's the big one. And number 2, he's kind of got a loosen. But I freaking love this figure. Look, I will say that Titans Return Astrotrain, now looking back on him, isn't as bad as I originally thought, but he's still not great. But Siege Astrotrain, oh boy, do I love him. Alright, now, what number are we on? Number 7. This one's kind of cheating, because it's 5 figures, but they represent something as a whole. And that is 5 figures that I've been wanting for years, and I finally got this year. So that being, Reveal the Shield Grapple, Universe 2.0 Blue Streak, Universe 2.0 Sunstreaker, Titans Return Pounce, and, if I can get them all fixed up, Classics Mirage. These 5 represent figures I've been wanting for years, tried to track down for years, and never found them for a good deal until this year. I do want to give a shout out to the TFW member who sold me Blue Streak. I'll leave their name in the description. What a nice chap. And yeah, these guys, I love having them. They make me happy because it's like, I finally have all these guys. And then, new figure coming out next year. Possible new figure coming out next year. New figure for Siege. New figure for Siege. Not Pounce, though. So, I just wanted to give these 5 a section all to their own because these 5 have been figures I've been wanting for years. Now, remember how I alluded to a certain deluxe class figure that, honestly, I liked a little more than Ironhide, Ratchet, etc.? Now, I would say quality-wise and just being an overall good toy, I would give it to them. However, this mold... Okay, number 6, the Red Alert mold, or the Sideswipe mold. Now, why would I put this over them when I think those guys are better? As Red Alert doesn't want to stand. Well, there's one reason. Siege Red Alert has been probably the figure I messed with the most this year. He's fun. I actually wasn't planning to even get this mold, but Walmart had him from cheap. I bought him, and he is awesome. I love the transformation. I love the car mode. I love the robot mode. I love them. I was mainly going to get this mold for Sideswipe, the G2 version, but honestly, these two are great. I love them. These were the figures I messed with the most, particularly Red Alert this year. He's quite good. Alright, top 5. Place your bets, boys. Because number 5 is a Titan boy. Yeah, our big man Omega Supreme, who I'm just gonna let, well, the feet speak for themselves. And look, there's a countdown. Omega Supreme, he's quite good. I would say he's better than Predaking. I would definitely say that. I love the gimmicks on him. I love the little blast effects. Yeah. Can I get him? There we go. I love the way the blast effects are painted and the blast effects as a whole. I think the transformation set is a good homage to the original. He's just awesome. Siege Omega Supreme is a very good figure. If you haven't gotten him yet, go for it, man. He's a genuinely nice figure. And coming in at number 4 is, well, Combiner Wars was iffy, and especially this mold was iffy. However, in these colors, it's radical. Generation 2 Combiner Wars Menasor with, for all the people who thought I hate third party, upgrade kits. Yeah. This guy is an absolute legend. I love him. I love those G2 colors. The Menasor is a little iffy, mainly Motormaster, but the other 4 are really good. Breakdown in particular. He's just an awesome figure, and especially with those upgrades, it makes him probably one of my, if not my favorite combiner I own. I love Generation 2. I love this guy. He is amazing. Alright, number 3. This is the one I think most people are going to be pissed at me about. But this, in my opinion, was my favorite Studio Series figure I got this year. Number 3, Studio Series Scrap Metal. I know, there are plenty of figures that are better than this guy, but I'm sorry, this guy just... I messed with him a lot. Him and Red Alert with him were like my 2 deluxes I messed with the most this year. And I got a lot of deluxes this year. This guy is awesome. I love his robot mode. I love the transformation. I love him, love him, love him. The accessory kind of sucks, but frick it. Why did I say frick it? Fuck it. This figure is amazing. And plus, we never had a scrap metal before, so there's that little bias. But this guy is awesome. I know people prefer a lot of the other figures. I just love scrap metal. He's just an amazing figure. He was genuinely my favorite Studio Series figure this year. And coming in at number 2 is, in my opinion, maybe my favorite Siege figure. And this is going to be a little controversial. Number 2, Siege Megatron. Megatron is awesome. The character is awesome. His toys have been alright. Classics Megatron works for the era, but I don't think he works really well nowadays. Titans Return Megatron was okay. Combiner Wars was okay. This figure had, well, a task to do, and that was what's improved Megatron. Make him a tank, make him look G1. They did it. And also I have bias. This was my first full figure of the year in terms of Siege. I think in general, this might have been the first figure I got this year. I'm not including my Micromasters and Battle Masters. This was my first full figure, and what an impression. Megatron just works so well. He looks awesome. He is just an amazing figure. I love him, the design of him. I love the transformation. I love the tank mode. The only thing that doesn't keep him at number 1 is that the way the tank turret rotates is not the greatest, but hey, he's awesome. And he doesn't turn into a gun. Whoop-de-doo. Number 1. Number 1. It's a bit obvious who number 1's gonna be, which is why I'm making it a tie. Siege, Optimus Prime, and Studio Series number 38, Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime. These 2, I would say, are the most loved figures of the year. Besides maybe Omega and Jetfire. This figure came out, was part of Wave 1. He came out swinging hard, and he's a really good figure. I actually didn't get him at first. I was going to stick with classics. Then I bought him, and he's a great figure. Studio Series Prime is probably the best figure from the studio lineup. He looks amazing. The truck looks great. The only thing that knocks him down a little bit is I don't think the back end of the truck looks great. And my flaw with Siege Prime is like, well, look at this kibble right there. Look at the back kibble, but it looks actually better than MP44. Yeah, I said it. And yeah, now the fact we are getting a Earthrise Optimus makes this guy kind of inadequate, but yeah, these two are just amazing. If you can only get one figure, or if you can only get one, if you like G1, go for him. If you like the Movieverse aesthetic / G1 aesthetic, upgrade it, go for this guy. These were the best figures of the year. These two are awesome. Anyway, guys, that was my top 19 of 2019. This was a bit longer than I expected, but I had so much to say. And, you know, I had another countdown in there and everything. Well, you know what to do. Subscribe if you want, like the video, whatever you want to do. This video is, well, my send-off to 2019 and how amazing of a line Siege was and the continuation of Studio Series. Here's hoping 2020 brings Earthrise and Studio Series a pretty damn decent year. And hey, Cyberverse looking alright. So, this is Soundwave913 signing off. Signing off. Sign off!